Facebook, it's 6 p.m. in the UK, it's 1 p.m. Eastern, and 7 p.m. in South Africa, in Cape Town to be precise, where Bridgetti is. And I can see, I thought I'd have to, I've just been live with April Roger, and that was a blast, as they say, and really enjoyed the show. Welcome to everybody who's been joining us, as I say hello to my good friend and co-host for the last 14 months. Hello, Bridgetti.
Hello, Stephen. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing back-to-back shows, so
I noticed that. I mean, how I can't. I mean, I've got two shows as well on a Friday night, but I've got an hour break in between. Hello, everyone. And I could, with my back, I could never do a back-to-back show. I have to have a break in between and move around and lie down and just, I couldn't do that. I mean, it's fantastic, but it is also quite hectic doing that. Having back-to-back shows.
It is because you don't get time to catch your breath or have a cup of tea. The cup of tea is needed. No, it's not. I can get through the next hour. And as ever, it's been quite a week. I want to start.
And hello to Alice.
And say hello. Sorry, Alice. Hello, and welcome to everybody who's joining us today. If you do actually type guest in the comments, you can join us on camera. Bridgetti and I, you're more than welcome to. It's Friday night here where we are, and it's time to chill. But we want to start off with a message, really, which really starts with what's happening at the moment. And we want to talk about man-made and natural disasters. And Bridgetti, I'll hand over to you to start the topic.
Yes, I thought it would be great add to this to our agenda for this week, seeing as everyone is commemorating the 9/11 events. And it was an event that jolted the entire world, not just the United States. It's impacted our lives in many ways. It's impacted travel in many. It's a lot more complicated. People are more suspicious of each other now on flights than we used to be, and unfortunately so. But I think the angle that I wanted to highlight in terms of 9/11 and other natural disasters is how live streaming has impacted our lives in terms of natural disasters. We now have the opportunity to highlight things on the fly immediately. And therein lies the danger. It's a huge responsibility to have the privilege to be able to live stream an event such as something that's traumatic as 9/11, or a hurricane, or a tornado, or whatever the natural disaster may be. We always want to remember that it's not just about the moment. And as live streamers, I would hope that we as a collective would always remember our responsibility when it comes to live streaming a natural disaster, because those videos, even, they're live, but they live on forever. They'll be around for many, many years to come. And I think we always want to be cognizant of the people involved, of the people that we film, the way we film things. I think we always want to do that in a responsible manner, so that we show events accurately, but without compromising or being insensitive to the people that we film. And so that's my takeaway from this, is being responsible how we live stream. It's a fantastic tool, but I don't think we should ever forget the responsibility that comes with the ability to live stream. I mean, I saw something this morning. Derek Van Dam, he is a South African. He happens to be a South African, and he's now with CNN, well-known reporter, and he was showing the hurricane that's currently in Colorado. No, it's not Colorado. Goodness me, how
North
could I
Carolina.
forget?
North Carolina.
North Carolina, yes, yes. So he was kind of giving us, minute to minute report and explaining. He was in the thick of the storm, and then he went live again in the eye of the storm when everything was quiet before, the huge storm came back again. And that was amazing. So there's a lot of positive things about being able to show things live and in real time. What's your thoughts on all of this, Stephen?
My thoughts concur with yours, actually, because we do have a responsibility. We can video at any time. We can video instances that are happening, and we can lay that live on Facebook, and it is there forever. I totally agree, and we do have a responsibility to be careful of we can broadcast incidents, but broadcasting people is a different matter entirely, especially if they are in a situation that we wouldn't want to be. So I think my guideline would be that if somebody's enjoying themselves, then no problem. But if you're actually relaying footage of something bad which is happening, then you should be very careful to including people in the video itself. And I just want to give a word of, well, to our friends in North Carolina, because we know quite a few live streamers in North Carolina and the area, and the hurricane is actually going to go up into Canada as well. So to our friends in North Carolina and everywhere up to Canada, we hope you stay safe over this weekend, because this storm is not going to disappear. It's with you for the next 4 or 5 days. So stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you broadcasting on the other side, because the figures involved are unimaginable in terms of people who've been moved.
I know it's quite scary, and I mean, even in the and I meant to ask Irene earlier, because I chatted to her offline earlier, because she's in the Philippines and they headed for, I'm not sure whether she's in the eye of that storm or anywhere close to it, but there's a massive, massive hurricane, the biggest one ever on record, apparently, that's headed for the Philippines. And that's going to affect millions of people. So that's another huge event right on the top of the one in North Carolina. I'm always amazed at how, I don't know what the connection is in terms of weather, but I've always noticed that somehow when there's a hurricane in the States, there seems to be something similar going on in the Philippines or in Asia. In that area, it just seems to be concurrently. I don't know what the reasoning is behind that. And hi, Alfredo, I see you there. Yeah. And also hello. Yeah. So I don't know. But even talking about live streaming events like that, even when it comes to motor car accidents, there's people that have made horrible faux pas when it comes to car accidents on the road. One always has to, and I love what you said earlier, is put yourself in the shoes of the people you are recording. Would you want to be recorded in that situation? And how would your family feel if you were being recorded in that situation? So I think it's putting yourself in the shoes of the other person that will help you decide, should you or should you not be doing this.
Totally agree. And the other thing that in relation to the national news that we all hear is that we're going to hear more about the hurricane in the United States than we are about the typhoon in the Philippines. Such is the nature of things. And the typhoon, as you mentioned earlier, in the Philippines is got wind speeds of 130 miles an hour, which are far in excess of the ones which are going to strike North Carolina. So we know people in the Philippines, and Bridgetti, you've checked, and hopefully everybody's safe there as well. But natural disasters, we have the ability to report on, but we should be aware. But in terms of using live video, there's something which rankles both of us, which Bridgetti's going to bring up as well. And that is distracted driving.
I still see so many live streamers who are driving and live streaming at the same time. You know, if it's in almost every country, to the best of my knowledge, it's illegal to use your phone while you are driving, let alone live streaming. There is absolutely no way that you can be concentrating on the road to the extent that you need to and still driving. You know, some people, I will say, go as far as saying, like, I'm not reading the comments, I'm live streaming. But even that's not okay. Even if you're not reading the comments, the point is your mind is focused on the topic that you're talking about, and your mind should be focused on the cars ahead of you, the cars around of you, what you're doing on the road. Don't do it. Just do not do it. And then I still see streamers who are paying attention to the comments, and I'm just gobsmacked. I cannot tell. I'm so passionate about this topic because you're putting not only your own life at risk, but you're risking the lives of the people around you. Distracted driving for whatever reason is bad. I cannot condone it. And then you still get live streamers. I mean, I've seen Mitch, for example, Mitch Jackson, he's also very passionate about this topic. And, he was relating one or two experiences where he contacted the person offline. He didn't, barge into their live stream and say, look, get off your phone, stop live streaming. He contacted them privately. And even contacting them privately, they took offense to that. I have a problem with that. We really need to be careful. We need to root this out. It's a bad habit. And we put everybody in jeopardy. We don't want to get ourselves in a situation where live streaming gets a bad reputation because somebody causes a fatal accident while they're live streaming. That's not what we want.
No, it isn't at all. I mean, we have the initiative in the UK of Don't Stream and Drive Day. And John Upton and I, who we both know, have hosted that show for the last 3 years. And it's an ongoing campaign because despite the awareness that's been created, not only by Don't Stream and Drive and similar programs in the States and around the world, people still do it. And you only need to lose concentration for a second and you've lost control of the car. And as Bridgetti said, it's not just you, it's the people alongside you and in front of you and behind you that are, well, you're just risking their lives as well as your own. And a comment from Alice, and Alice is saying, distracted driving has been an issue for a while. It seems to be getting worse. Well, I think we both noticed we've got quite a wide circle of live streaming friends, and you've got your inner circle of friends, and we know nobody in our inner circles would actually even do it, contemplate it. But in our outer circles, we do see people, don't we? Broadcasting.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that I have a personal relationship with that drives and live streams. I think I would certainly say something if I, and when you say something, it's because you care.
Oh yeah.
That's the bottom line, because if you didn't care, you wouldn't say anything. And one always hopes that the person you're speaking to would see it from that perspective, that you value their lives and you value the lives of their loved ones and what would happen to them if anything bad happened. I would feel horrible if I saw someone engaging in distracted driving with live streaming. I know the person, I saw that, I didn't say something and something bad happens. It would make me feel really, really bad.
Yeah, and Alice is saying, see something, say something, which is good advice. Which is good. And if you're not watching, I've put a new link in the agenda. If you're watching us anywhere apart from the live video hub, which is where we're actually broadcasting from today, you'll find a link to the show up above. And if you click that link, Bridgetti and I will be able to see your comments. Otherwise, we will not catch your comments until after the show, because this show is going out to 8 different pages. And the best way, what we want you to do is to come back to the original page, and that's true of everybody who broadcasts on the hub. What we want is a link included so that people can go to your page. That's what it's all about. Okay.
Yeah, I like to remind people as well, because I mean, to be honest with you, I get caught out with that sometimes. You know, sometimes you forget. You see a show that looks very interesting, and you start watching and you start commenting away like mad, and you wonder, why is Stephen ignoring me today? I'm commenting. And then you look, oh, oops, I'm watching on the wrong page.
Well, it is easy done. I find myself doing that occasionally as well. I think what happens, though, is also you get people having conversations whilst the show is on. And it's conversations between people watching the show. And Alice has said that Larry Snow is here. So welcome, sir.
Welcome.
Right, okay. Now, something very important from BeLive.tv, which I think needs to be promoted more, is the BeLive Partner Program.
Yes, so many people have been waiting for that for months and months and months. And it's finally here. You can now finally put in an application to become an affiliate for BeLive TV. So if you are a live streamer, if you are using BeLive TV and you love it, then go ahead and put in your application to become an affiliate.
And the benefits of being an affiliate are, one, you'll get your own page with BeLive. So that's a personal page, a landing page of your own. You'll get your own personalized link for referrals. And if you send people to that page and they join BeLive.tv through that link, and they subscribe to BeLive.tv, then you'll have a referral payment. Now, at the moment, the commission hasn't been stated, so we don't know how much it's going to be. The other thing we do know is that if you do sign up now as an early subscriber, then you'll be down the line in a month or two. There will be a whole program of events to help everybody who's in the partnership program. Now, it's nice to be able to say today, say hello to Chuck and to Larry. It is a great program, Larry, and we've both applied, haven't we?
My application, to be very honest with you, I have not put mine in yet. It's been on my to-do list.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I've
got everything I need.
Good. Yep.
But I've had the last week and a half has been kind of hectic with my health and stuff, so I haven't been on top of my game as I would have liked to be. But it is in the works. I've got all the information ready that I need to have at my fingertips. So my own application is going to be headed towards BeLive pretty soon.
Right. Good. I think it's a wonderful program, because it's not just the commission side of it, which is we're all grateful for, because residual income helps us. Everything from a cup of coffee to a week in Mallorca is possible when you've got residual income. And as I said, there are benefits far and beyond the commission side, and the commission percentage has not been announced.
You know, for me, it's kind of just a bonus. I mean, I've been using BeLive, since it started virtually, and I enjoy it. I use it virtually every single day. I teach it to people. I love using it. It's been absolutely phenomenal. It's grown my business as a live streamer. So, I love talking about BeLive and its benefits. So I think being able to join the affiliate program is kind of just a cherry on the top. It's not going to make me do anything different other than what I've already been doing. I've already been encouraging people to use BeLive. I've gotten people to use BeLive. I teach them how to use it. So I don't think anything's going to change for me much. So being able to get, be part of the affiliate program really is just, as I said, the cherry on the top. because no, I don't have to convince myself. You know.
Well, no, I mean that's the thing. I mean, we're doing it naturally by inviting people to join BeLive, and before we've been sending everybody to the BeLive.tv page and saying sign up there. But there is potential in it. I just want to take Chuck's point before I come to what I found out last night. And Chuck is saying, looks like the affiliate program is only available to top tier broadcasters with many subscribers. I don't think that's correct. They do ask for the number of people you're connected to on Facebook, the number of followers you have on Twitter, and the number of followers you have on Instagram. But I think that's only to gauge that, in fact, you are a real person and that you are active on those 3 networks. It's not, I don't think anybody's being excluded. I don't think it's only for the top tier. In fact, I can say it's not, because I can say that today I heard of the first person who's been accepted to the program. So not only are we talking about it, we know that in actual fact, people are applying and being approved to be in the program at the moment. So I would say my advice, Chuck, nothing ventured, nothing gained, is just to fill in the form. If nothing else, then you're making yourself known to BeLive.tv. And if you do get the partner status, then it's a win.
Absolutely, don't let it hold you back. You know, it was not, that was nowhere is that down in writing, or I have not heard of it. Stephen, you've not heard of it.
Oh, no, no.
And as you said, you know, it really is just to establish that you are a real person, that you are, you know, you're an active person in social media, because that is what your, you know, your status, your followers, or the fact that you have followers.
Oh, yeah.
On the platform is going to mean that you are an active person. So so that's all it is for. It's not, it really is not, it's not rigged, for want of a better word.
Indeed. I think it's a level playing field for everybody. It's based on base use. Actually, it's like an interview. You're selling yourself. You're saying how many followers you have, but you're also saying what type of show you do and why you feel that, well, why you want to join, really, which is a fair question, given that there are additional benefits to it. So I would encourage everyone to apply, and we'll keep you informed as to what goes on. You can't judge it off the one person who's I know to have been accepted. I'm just saying that to say that the process is
on the way.
On the way, and it's good to say that apply now. And it's one of these things is when you actually start promoting one of these programs, and then suddenly it turns out nothing's happening for 2 months. We can say that some things are happening now on the BeLive partner program. Now is the time to apply, and they're looking for genuine people who love BeLive.tv or are happy to promote the site. So therefore, what they're looking for is upstanding people, and that includes everybody who's watching us live today. So apply.
Go
please.
get in your forms. Go and apply. Don't wait. Just get it done already. Don't be like me. Okay, just get it done. Send it in. Mail it off.
Right, and just the next point in BeLive business today, and it's the only 2 points on BeLive that we have, is that BeLive on Medium this week released a blog, which is all about the Live Video Hub, and I'm happy to say that it includes reference to quite a few people who've actually supported the Live Video Hub since it began. And if you want to go and have a read, please do. And to everybody who actually has helped, then thank you very much. And you'll see in there a big thank you to my co-host on Wednesdays and my partner, really, because RJ and I not only do the show, but we build the bots for the Live Video Hub, but we're actually doing a Udemy course together as well. So we're not thick as thieves, really, in terms of getting stuff done. So if you hop over there, you can find out what BeLive.tv are up to, and our thanks to the people who've been helping us along the way, including your good self, Bridgetti. And you've got some shows now on the Live Video Hub. Some wonderful shows.
Yes.
I'm not going any further than that.
I don't know what's happened, just things seem to be exploding, but in a good way.
Brilliant.
I'm really not complaining. It's great when one finally gets into a rhythm of producing live shows, and you're having fun doing it. I think that's the best thing, is you must enjoy what you're doing when you're live streaming, because people can sense what you're doing. They can feel your energy when you're live streaming, and so it's not something that you can do just because. You really need to enjoy communicating with people, because ultimately, if you're doing this because you want to gain more business, people will sense your energy. They'll feel your energy. You need to be open to be talking to people. And I'm going to just give my next show a bit of a plug.
Okay.
And it is only inside of BeLivers. So if you are a BeLiver, you get to watch the show. And this evening we're going to be talking about the cringe factor in helping you to overcome your camera shyness, because that's something that everyone struggles with. When you start live streaming, you kind of cringe when you see yourself on camera or you hear your voice on camera. And so we'll talk you through how you can get over that initial hurdle. So if you've not yet started live streaming, you're still thinking about live streaming, or you're still feeling that awkward sense when you're in front of the camera, and you want to find a way of feeling comfortable with yourself, then come and watch the show. It'll be at the top of the hour. No, not. It's an hour later. It's an hour later.
When you do more than one show in a day, it's easy to get confused. I've convinced myself. We were talking earlier today, and you said, how's the mobile side going? Because I'm using my mobile phone to broadcast to Periscope. I'll come to your question in a moment. Sure. Using my mobile phone to broadcast to Periscope, to YouTube and Twitch. And you just pick up your phone, you set your camera up, and set that up so the camera doesn't shake. And basically, having done that, you just press one button, you go live, and you're on 3 different channels at the same time. And I was testing that, and I knew I had 2 shows to go today. And I was talking about them both, but when it came to giving the times for them, I got the time wrong. Instead of saying 12 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Eastern, I said 11. You know where this is going. I confused myself, and it's a symptom of trying to do too much at once, I think, for me anyway. Right, okay, and so that's the cringe factor in BeLivers later today, and that's with Bridgetti and your good friend Angelina. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
My partner in crime for that show.
Brilliant. We should invite Angelina onto this show as well, or would that be just a thought? Right.
I would have to organize with her, and I think she did actually one week when you were away. I think she did co-host with me, if I remember correctly.
We met, didn't we?
Yes, that's correct. Yes. Now that you mention it, yes. Yeah, right. I just have to pre-organize it with her because she's 12 hours behind us. Well, okay, 13 for you. Am I confusing myself now too? She's 12 hours behind me.
This is getting confusing.
I know. She's 12 hours behind me, so it's morning for her. So right now it's 7:30, so it'll be 7:30 a.m. And she's got children to get to school, so it just has to kind of be coordinated. Yeah. But if it's coordinated, it's good. Gotcha.
And Alice is saying the cringe factor, loves that as a topic for a show. So there you are. That's good. And I'll take Chuck's question now. We're going back to the partnership with BeLive, the BeLive Partner Program. And Chuck is saying, may you apply It's not on Instagram or Twitter. I don't think that matters. I don't. What they're all. I can't speak. I'm not speaking having been told what's going on. I have an idea what's going on, but I don't. I'm not on the inside track on this one. Basically, they're looking for people who will basically recommend BeLive.tv and could benefit from being within the partnership program. I don't think that you'd be excluded on the basis of numbers of Instagram or Twitter. We'll try and get some more information for next week, because now that the discussions have started with people who've applied, we can find out a little more about the criteria. But at the moment, if you're thinking of applying, as I say on the Thursday show with Linda West, just do it.
Just do it.
Right.
Love that.
All right. Okay. And Larry is saying there's lots of partners in crime on BeLive.tv. Indeed, there are. I mean, we've met some amazing people since we were back in the Blab days, and we've become partners in crime. We enjoy broadcasting together, and you could pair any two out of about 20 people, and you could get a show together in 5 minutes notice.
I know, and I think, you know, I mean, because we all have come a long way together. You know, not everyone has been on a broadcast together, but we've always been in each other's broadcasts or someone else's broadcasts, where we, you know, we've had the opportunity to get to know each other over a period of time. And I mean, I saw that when we did the 5-day live training. You know, there were some people there that I'd never live streamed with before, but you know, we could go live at a minute's notice and we would just gel. You know, we didn't need a lot of preparation beforehand. We'd share the same platform, be on the same page, as it were, within, you know, with 5 minutes notice.
Yeah. It was just amazing, the chemistry.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things I think that's helped me develop my own career as a live streamer, is having such a supportive community. And so here's a tip. One tip that we shared in the 5 days live as well. You know, if you wanting to get on somebody's radar, then comment in a live stream the way you would like people to comment if you were live streaming, because you know that will immediately have the broadcaster see your comments, draw attention to you. You know, be meaningful, be engaging. And that's how we've gotten to know each other. You know, just supporting each other's shows. And sometimes you don't have to go. I mean, there's so shows going around at the moment. It's impossible to watch everybody's shows all the time. So you kind of decide, you know, and sometimes it's very, very hard deciding. Sometimes you have 2 or 3 shows that run concurrently that you really do want to watch, but it's not possible. And sometimes, you know, you'd flip between watching a little bit of the one and then watching a little bit of the other.
Been there, done that. And you brought up the 5 days live, which is a handy reminder. 5 days live was myself, Bridgetti, and 6 of our very good friends, even better friends now that we've done the first one in August. We will be back in October, 1 through 5, at 10 a.m. Eastern on BeLive.tv, and we'll be on the live video hub. And if you watching now and you want us to actually talk about a particular topic which is dear to you, then please do type the topic in, because we want to. Right, there are 2 ways of doing this. Either we decide what you want to know, or you decide. If you want to decide what you want to learn about, then just put the topic in now, and then we'll have a chat about it, and it will go into the list of topics for consideration, because we've got to start planning this next week. It comes around so soon.
I know. I can't believe it's almost that time. I mean, we're already midway through September. It's unbelievable. Yes, absolutely. I do want to reiterate what you just said, Stephen. You know, I mean, we can decide the topics, but it'd be better, it'd be nicer, it'd be great if we can get some topics from the community. And when I'm doing the show later, I'll remember to put that on the agenda as well, and just ask inside the BeLivers community and ask people to give us topics. You know, the more topics we get, the better, because then we know exactly what you know, is useful to everyone to cover.
So we look forward to. Sorry, Bridgetti. So
no. That's
right. So let's just catch up with the comments. Okay, so we've done that. And Larry's saying he sometimes watches 2 live shows at a time, and well, you can just about do it. It'd be interesting. Just try this. What you need to do.
What do you do? What do you do? Tell us.
No, what, me?
Yes.
When
you've got 2 lives to watch.
I actually have 2 tabs open and switch between one and the other. And basically, you're missing half the show. You know you are, but you're actually catching bits, and then you decide which one to watch on replay. But just to catch up, I was saying you watch this 2 at a time, and Alice is saying it sounds fabulous. And Alice is saying yes, she watches 1 on mobile and 1 on laptop. Just a thought. This might be fun. Okay, is to pick 2 shows, have one open in tab 1 and one open in tab 2, then switch the sound off in tab 1 and watch it with the sound from tab 2. How's that? Do you think that would work? I don't. It could be fun for a little while. Larry's explaining
FOMO.
Two desktops, fear of missing out. FOMO is basically we do have a fear of missing out. Did you catch the iPhones, the Apple show yesterday?
I didn't, unfortunately. I've had a really bad back week. You know, I've spent the entire day in bed today to be able to do the 2 shows this evening, because I knew if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to sit up. So no, I didn't catch that, unfortunately, but I'm going to get it on the replay for sure.
If we go back 4 or 5 years, then watching the Apple show was one of the events of the year, and we all got ready for it. You had your cup of coffee or cup of tea, depending on where you are, and you sat there and you in anticipation of what Apple were going to unveil. And this is in the days of when we're only looking at 3, 4, and 5. Since those days, things have changed quite a lot, and the Apple event doesn't have the same draw for people who are not into Mac. I don't think it's got the same hullabaloo about it. It's not got the same razzmatazz as it used to have, and I think that's a shame, really. But I mean, you've got to sort of question when a new mobile phone from Apple is costing $1,000. As to, you know, it's basically it's a designer phone, and it's at designer prices. And just as a segue, on the radio this morning, we've obviously got Brexit going on in this country, which is our leaving the EU, the financial side of Europe, and it's going to affect all sorts of things. But I was interested to learn the one thing it will not affect is designers.
Really? How come?
Our dress designers and clothes designers are having the best time they've ever had. And because they are selling at designer prices, that market has gone up 18% in the last year. Wow. So there is a market for an iPhone at $1,000, but I don't see the razzmatazz that there used to be. And Samsung have tried, but don't quite achieve that. But there you are. But we were actually talking before I went off on a sidetrack about fear of missing out, as we were prompted by Larry. Okay. Oh, and Alice did watch it and loved it. Okay, I'm getting the feeling I'm in a minority here, because I know you're Mac.
Did you watch it?
No.
Okay.
I was too busy broadcasting.
Your FOMO didn't reach that far.
No. I've just got a new Samsung phone, so I'm out of the market at the moment, at least for 12 months. Alice saying watched it and loved it, which leads me to the fact that there might be more Mac users watching this show and involved in the show than there are Windows. But we'll not go there because we're all friends. And Larry's saying, me too, Alice. All these comments, just hang on, I'm trying to keep up here. It was Larry. I know so many people I'd like to give a gift to when I'm rich. Okay. And then Larry's comeback was, there's only so much Apple can do with something that fits in your pocket. Form factor, quicker speed, technology in the phone, and that's about it. But it does look, the last bit, but Larry's saying it looks beautiful. I think the one thing that iPhone have always had is just the simplest, most beautiful design you could ever imagine. You actually do, when you look at it, you want to buy an Apple product, don't you?
You know what blew my mind a little bit? And it's not I didn't get it from the show, but I guess it's somebody that did watch it. But they said that the latest one's coming. It's got something like a 500 gigabyte memory, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's the size of a laptop. I mean,
true.
I kind of, my eyes were like two saucers of it, like, what? That is insane, you know.
Totally incredible. But iPhone have got style, always has had a style, and always will have. But now they've got a price tag as well. And Alfredo saying he didn't catch the event either. Alfredo, if you go to the BBC website, that's bbc.co.uk, BBC have got a video there, which I watched. It's 90 seconds long, and it gives you all the highlights of the what actually happened.
Oh, I think I need to go watch that too. I just need the highlights.
Yep. bbc.co.uk. Yep.
And hello, Catherine.
Lottery. And we say, Catherine, nice to see you as we look towards the weekend. And yeah, Alice is saying, yeah, it is the simple elegance of any Apple product. It's in the design.
Well, I also need to win the lottery because I'm on the Mac and I do have an iPhone. I've got the iPhone 5, which still is working fine for me. And I mean, I'd love to have the iPhone 10, but I definitely would need to win the lottery. There's just no way I can afford that.
Well, say hello to Kelly, and Kelly's mentioning expensive excess. And Kelly did see the event, and it was faster than the last one. I'm taking it from that there wasn't as much in it as in previous Apple Mac events. Yeah, but it's they just have style, and there's something about. I'm going to go to Salisbury over the weekend because nobody else is going at the moment, and it is a good place, and the local shops do need our support, so the locals are going. And there's an iPhone store there. Sorry, it's a genuine Apple store. It just, even if you don't want to buy one, you want to walk into the store just because of the beauty of the products. And Angelica sort of waits while I have a look around, and then we move on to the next thing. Right, okay. And
are you and Angelica both Android people?
We're Android people, yes. Yeah. Angelica has a Google Pixel. That's her phone of choice. But I'm a Samsung guy. And thank you, Alfredo, for posting the link to the 90 seconds.
Thank you. And I'm definitely going to catch the highlights.
Brilliant. And Alice is saying that there are dual SIM and eSIM are new. Now, this is an idea.
Oh,
I came across this idea the other day. I think Samsung was saying about the foldable phone, which they're talking up at the moment. So it might be something they're working on, even if it's only at design stage. But it's a dual SIM phone, so that you can have more than one SIM card in there. So you can just switch over depending on whether you're in Europe or whether you're in the UK, or whether you're in whichever country you're in. You can just switch, and switch back.
That's always been a big thing about having a phone that has dual SIM that works well, because a lot of people end up carrying two phones. And I think, especially for people in business, they want to have a number that they can give to everybody. I mean, we're so interconnected these days that you do want to have a number that you're prepared to give to the whole world. But then you want to have a number that you reserve for family only, possibly. And so, therefore, the need to now carry two phones, which you don't want to do. And ideally, it would be great to have a functioning phone on which you can use two SIM cards. That's just an absolute bonus. Alfredo says he is an Android user as well. I don't know, what the percentage split is. I mean, if I think of my circle of friends, I think I've got an equal split between Android users and Apple users.
Right.
I don't see that the one's more than the other. Certainly the Android I would say for the greater population in South Africa anyway, is definitely Android, because the cost of the Apple products is prohibitive. It's a kind of a niche market, if you wish, because it's so, because of the pricing.
It's the same in the UK. About 60% Android users, 25% iPhone, and 15% for everybody else, including Windows. And Alice is saying her house is equally split. She is iPhone and her husband is Android. And back to the new phone, you can have two active numbers at once with smooth function. Okay.
Nice.
That's nice.
Very nice.
And Alice was agreeing with me earlier, and thank you for that.
And okay. I wouldn't spend time trying to convince somebody to switch to either one. It's a very personal decision whether you go Apple or Android. Apart from the cost factor, just in terms of the look and feel and functionality, it's either you like one or you don't like it. There's no middle ground. And it's pretty much the same when it comes to whether you use a Windows computer or a MacBook. You can't convince people otherwise. They either like one or don't like the other one. I mean, I've switched because I'm a Mac person. But and I mean, I'd love a new MacBook too. Just putting that out there in the universe.
Well, if you put it out there and it's on your wish list, right? Okay. Quick question for everybody: what was your first mobile phone? Do you remember your first mobile phone? I do. I can give you the name and the model number because it was emblazoned on the front of the phone. And just a subtle hint: they're no longer one of the top manufacturers, but they do still manufacture phones.
A Nokia?
A Nokia 9510.
Yes, I had that too.
There we are. They once ruled the world.
They did rule the world, and they were as solid as a rock. They lasted forever. You could drop them in a bucket. You could, they could fall. The kids could play with them and throw them down, and they would just carry on working. We didn't have broken screens,
Right.
They just worked. They did what they were meant to do.
Exactly. Robust. And Chuck had a Motorola flip phone. I remember those. Yes. And
I also had a Motorola at one point, a flip phone. Yes.
Yeah. And they're on the way back because Samsung are actually, well, according to John Upton, they're actually talking about a bendy phone where you can actually.
I heard something about it. I haven't read up on it, but I heard something about this bendy phone. I'm quite curious to, find out what it's all about. I don't know. I'll have to go and Google it.
Yeah. And Alice is saying it took me time Took me a bit to adjust to Apple, but now I could never go back. Lol.
Alice, I'm right up with you.
High five.
High five.
Brilliant.
It was the same for me, you know. It's a complete mind switch between the operating systems when I went from Windows to Mac. It was quite a frustrating learning curve because things are so opposite, and it's different. And but once I got used to the Mac operating system, I'm sold. It'd be very difficult for me to go back. And in fact, the other day I had a friend come over. She wanted me to help her with something, and she's on Windows. And I tell you, for the first sort of half an hour, I sat there and I said to her, I'm feeling really, really stupid. You know, I used to teach this stuff. I used to know Windows inside out, but right now I'm feeling so stupid. Just give me some time to orientate my mind.
Yeah,
and think on a different operating system.
The same would be true if you put me in front of a Mac. I'd have problems, but with time. But this is it. This is most interesting. Catherine is saying, I worked with Apple from 98 to 03. I was always a Mac user. I never got iPhones, though. Too expensive. I used an Android phone. My first was a Motorola in 1995. Well, the 95 phones were that's the big, like a brick. Is that right?
The brick phones, yes.
Brick phones.
The brick phones.
Yeah, and
you used to have that you had that holster on your belt.
Yeah, true.
That clipped onto, and we all walked around with this big brick on your hip.
How things have changed. And it's just wonderful to actually watch it all evolve and to be able to take advantage of it.
I mean, even in those days when we carried, the brick phone, we had the, what do you call that little bleeper thing?
Messenger, text messenger. Oh, help!
You know what I mean. It was the doctors used to carry those. You know, those little bleeper things. A bleeper, yes.
A bleeper. Yeah, got there.
Had one of those too. Giving my age away.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've gone through a whole range of things. I mean, the whole thing started, I mean, if we're going to go down memory lane, did you have a calculator from Sinclair?
Yes, I did.
That was a marvel because that had an green LED screen at the top, and it was just beautiful. It was, design classic, really. And we just discovered that we both know about bleepers.
And you know what? Since we're going down memory lane, do you remember those computers that you had? They called them the fish net or fish something, that you used to put the cards into to be able to read, stock items and things from. We didn't have computers back then. That's kind of pre the computers as we know it.
I can go further.
Wow.
Down memory lane. There used to be punch card readers. This is before we even got to IBM releasing a computer or Commodore releasing their computer. And the punch card was a card with holes, 80 characters long.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and I worked for a company that was still repairing those in the 1990s, punch card readers. And Catherine said in microfiche, it's similar. And
yes, that's it. Yeah, it was a microfiche. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, pages and beepers. We've gone all retro. Bridgetti, we've gone all retro.
How did we go down this rabbit hole?
Walk down memory lane. A quick recap, and then so you could have typed guest to join us on the show today. You're welcome to that. We're back at the same time next week, 1 p.m. Eastern, to have some more fun. When you are watching the show, just make sure that you're actually on the link that's at the top of the page. Don't forget to go and look at the BeLive TV live video hub, and don't forget to take a look at the BeLive TV partner program. And that's it as far as that's concerned. And Alice is saying, yes, it's Throwback Friday. We should have a spot on the show, which is Throwback Friday. We can actually get hold of an object and say, okay, which model of Samsung is this? Or which Apple phone is this? In fact, in a local town in Swindon, there's a computer museum, and they've got everything. They collect things. They've collected things from the 1980s up to date. And the beautiful thing about it is that it's an educational resource. And whilst it's self-funded, schools send classes into there to learn all about everything that we've lived through. And Kelly is saying, my first personal phone was a Nokia pay-as-you-go, then a Sony Ericsson flip phone, now a Samsung 7S, might need the 9 soon. Brilliant. Bridgetti, the floor is yours, Mum.
A huge big thank you, everyone, for joining us this week. It's been awesome. It's been a very engaging conversation. We should do these Throwback Fridays every now and then. You know, every few weeks we should plan a throwback session like we had this evening. It's been a lot of fun. And so I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined us live today. And I hope I'm probably going to miss people now. Chuck, Larry, Catherine,
Alice,
Alfredo, Alice. Who did I miss out there? Kelly,
Larry.
I did say Larry, but yes, Larry.
Right, okay, yeah.
So everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Hope that you're going to have a splendid weekend ahead. If you are streaming, whether it's over the weekend or in the coming week or weeks, please don't do any distracted driving. Be safe, be responsible about how you live stream. Have fun while you live stream. And also, don't forget, we've got the 5 days live coming up in October. So if you've got any topics you'd like us to cover, please leave those in the comments, either this week or next week, so we can get a collection together pretty soon. And so, and if anyone's available, in an hour's time, I'm going to be going live in the BeLivers group talking about the cringe factor. Join me then if you can, or catch the replay. So from me, Bridgetti in Cape Town, have a fantastic, fabulous week, and I'll be back next week again, same time with Steven, and we'll see you back on the show. So from me, have a fantastic weekend, everyone.
And goodbye from me in Wiltshire. Have a great weekend. Take care. See you all again soon. Bye. Thank you, Alice. Bye for now.